Why textbook English doesn't work in real life? Let's begin with something honest. Most people who study English for years still struggle to speak it. Naturally, they've read the grammar books, they've completed exercises, they've memorized word lists, taken courses, and even passed tests. But when it comes to real-world conversation, they freeze, they hesitate, they search for words. And the words that come out often sound robotic, stiff, or far too formal. If that's ever happened to you, this session is for you, because today we're going to break down one of the biggest obstacles to becoming a fluent, confident English speaker: textbook English. Textbook English is designed for teaching, not for talking. It's built around rules, not rhythm. It's focused on correctness, not connection. And while grammar and vocabulary are important, they're only a part of real communication. Let's look at what's really going on and why so many learners get stuck. The problem with perfect English. From the beginning, most learners are told that fluency comes from correctness. If you study the grammar rules, memorize the vocabulary, and avoid mistakes, you'll become fluent. But that isn't how language works in real life. Language is messy, it's emotional, it's fast, flexible, and full of shortcuts. People don't speak in full, clean, rule-perfect sentences. Let's look at an example. Here's a typical sentence from a textbook. Hello, how are you? I'm going to the supermarket to buy some vegetables. Now imagine a native speaker saying the same thing in real life. Hey, what's up? I'm heading to the store. Need anything? Both sentences mean the same thing, but only one of them sounds like something you'd actually hear in everyday conversation. The first is grammatically correct but sounds formal and scripted. The second is casual, relaxed, and real. This is the gap that most learners fall into. They know how to build perfect sentences, but they haven't practiced how people actually speak. And here's the truth. Real people do not speak like grammar books. Why this matters? When your English doesn't sound natural, it creates a few problems. You feel self-conscious. You know you don't sound fluent, so you hesitate or go silent. You can't keep up. Real conversations move quickly, and if you're thinking about grammar, you fall behind. You struggle to connect. People respond better when your speech sounds alive, emotional, and confident, not stiff and academic. The result? You avoid speaking, you stay silent, or you speak, but you don't feel like yourself. And that's a problem, because language isn't just about information. It's about connection. If you want to sound like a real person, you have to move beyond the textbook. Real English versus textbook English. Let's go deeper. Textbook English is carefully structured, slow and formal, rule-driven, neutral in tone, focused on grammar and vocabulary. Real English is fast and flexible, filled with contractions, slang, and idioms, emotionally expressive, often grammatically incorrect by textbook standards, focused on meaning, flow, and response. When native speakers talk, they drop words, change word order, emphasize tone, use body language, break grammar rules intentionally. And guess what? That's still fluent English. Here are some phrases you'll hear often. Gonna instead of going to. Wanna instead of want to. Lemme instead of let me. Dunno instead of I don't know. Kinda instead of kind of. You won't find these in most grammar books, but you'll hear them in nearly every conversation. So if your goal is to sound natural and confident, your training has to reflect how English is actually spoken. Not just how it's written in books, how this affects your brain. Now let's talk about your brain. When you learn English the textbook way, your brain creates habits based on rules, not rhythm. You start thinking like this: what's the correct verb tense here? Should I use a or the? Is this word countable or uncountable? But fluent speakers don't think that way in conversation. They don't build sentences. They produce them automatically. They speak in chunks, in rhythms, in phrases they've heard 1,000 times. If you're always trying to construct perfect sentences in your head, you'll never speak with flow. You'll always sound like someone reading from a script. To break this habit, you need to retrain your brain. You need to start hearing and repeating real English, not academic English. And you need to build speaking reflexes, not just knowledge. Why speaking is a physical skill. Here's something most learners forget. Speaking is not just a mental activity, it's a physical one. Your mouth, tongue, lips, breath, they all need training. Just like athletes train their muscles, speakers train their voice. If you've only read English, your mouth hasn't practiced forming the sounds, the flow, the rhythm of real speech. That's why shadowing, speaking along with audio, is so powerful. You're not just learning the words, you're training your voice. You're copying real tone, speed, and emotion. You're building muscle memory, and over time, that memory becomes fluency. Why this series exists. This is why this series exists, to help you break free from textbook English, to help you sound real, to help you think, speak, and connect in English like yourself. We're not here to make you perfect. We're here to help you become authentic, confident, and natural. In this series, you'll train with real spoken English. You'll practice how native speakers actually communicate, and you'll build a speaking style that feels like you, not like a test. What's coming next? In the next session, we'll begin exploring what real spoken English actually sounds like. In detail, you'll learn the core habits that fluent speakers share, the rhythm and tone of daily conversation, how to start shifting your speech away from the textbook and into the real world. So for now, just remember this. You don't need to sound perfect, you need to sound real, and real is what we'll train together. What real spoken English actually sounds like. Welcome back. In segment 1, we explored the gap between textbook English and real conversation. We discovered how focusing only on grammar, rules, and structure can actually slow down your fluency and make your speech feel robotic. Now it's time to go deeper. Let's look at what real spoken English actually sounds like. Because to speak like a real person, you need to understand the rhythm, patterns, and tone of how real people communicate. And here's the truth. Fluent English is not perfect English. It's not polished. It's not always correct. It's emotional. It's fast. It's built on rhythm and habit, not memorized rules. Let's break this down. Spoken English is built on sound, not just words. One of the biggest misconceptions learners have is this. They think that if they know the words, they know the language. But knowing words isn't enough. Spoken English is not just about what you say. It's about how you say it. Let's take a simple phrase. Textbook version, I do not know. Real spoken version, to know. Just one sound, one motion, one expression. The meaning is the same. But the delivery, totally different. This is the first rule of real English. Spoken English is sound-based, not grammar-based. Natural speech is full of reductions and contractions. Native speakers often shorten, blend, or reduce their words in everyday conversation. These changes aren't mistakes. They're natural and expected. Let's look at some examples. Full textbook form. Real spoken version. I'm gonna, do you want to, do you wanna, let me help you, what are you doing, what you doing, I have got to go, I've got to go, I do not know. Dunno. These aren't slang. They're normal spoken contractions used by everyone. Students, teachers, professionals, even news reporters. You won't hear people saying, I'm going to the market. As often as you'll hear, I'm going to hit the store. If your ear is only trained on slow, clear textbook English, real speech will sound fast and confusing. But once you start recognizing these patterns, it becomes easier, even enjoyable, to listen, learn, and join in. Rhythm and rhythm, stress, drive. Meaning. Another big part of real spoken English is rhythm. In English, we don't stress every word equally. Some words are strong and clear, others are soft and fast. This creates a rhythm that carries the emotion and intention of what's being said. Let's take a sentence like, I didn't say he stole the money. Now say that sentence out loud, but each time change the stressed word. I didn't say he stole the money. 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 Each version has a different meaning, even though the words stay the same. That's the power of intonation. The way your voice rises and falls to express meaning. In real English, how you say something matters as much as what you say. This is why some people can speak perfect grammar and still not be understood, because their tone, stress, and rhythm are off. To sound natural, you must train your ear and practice rhythm and stress. This is a speaking skill, not a grammar rule. Real conversations are not linear. Here's another thing textbooks don't prepare you for. Real conversations are messy. People interrupt each other, change subjects, use incomplete sentences, say, and like. Talk with emotion, sarcasm, hesitation, or excitement. Let's look at a real conversation. A. You coming tonight? B. Not sure. Kinda tired. What time does it start? A. Like 8, I think. Jake's bringing food. B. Oh, might swing by, depends on work. A. Cool. No pressure. Now imagine how a textbook would present that. A. Are you going to the party tonight? B. I'm not sure. I'm a little tired. What time does it begin? A. It begins at 8 o'clock. Jake is bringing food. B. Maybe I will come. It depends on my job. A. Okay, it's your decision. The difference is huge. The first one sounds real. The second sounds robotic. So ask yourself, which one are you practicing? Vocabulary. You'll actually use. Spoken English uses a different vocabulary set than written English. Textbooks often teach words like purchase, automobile, reside, assistance. But in conversation, we say buy, car, live, help. Yes, formal words exist and they're important in writing, but in speaking, simple words are used more often and they carry more emotion. We don't say, I require transportation to the workplace. We say, I need a ride to work. To sound real, you need to think and speak simply, not academically. Emotion is part of the language. Real English is emotional. It's not neutral or mechanical. The same sentence can be spoken with sarcasm, anger, excitement, sadness, surprise. And it will mean different things based on the emotion behind it. That's why practicing with feeling is just as important as pronunciation. If you want to speak like a real person, you have to sound like one. So when you practice phrases, don't just say them, perform them. put yourself in a situation. Speak like you mean it. What you can do now. Here are 5 things you can start doing today to sound more like a real English speaker. Shadow real conversations. Play audio, pause, repeat out loud with the same tone and speed. Use contractions naturally. Practice saying I'm, he's, there, reads, we've until they feel automatic. Simplify your speech. Use simple common words that match everyday usage. Practice emotional delivery. Don't just read and feel the sentence. Say it happy. Say it frustrated. Say it excited. Record and review yourself. Listen to how you sound. Compare it to native speech. Adjust with purpose. What's next? In the next segment, we'll look at one of the most important shifts for sounding real. Stop memorizing words. Start interacting with phrases. You'll learn how to train your speech using word clusters, sentence frames, and response patterns, just like native speakers do, without even thinking about it. Until then, remember this. You don't need to sound perfect. You need to sound real. And real starts with rhythm, emotion, and confidence. Stop memorizing, start interacting. Welcome back. So far, we've explored why textbook English often fails in real conversations. We've looked at how native speakers use rhythm, reductions, emotion, and natural phrasing, and how that's very different from what most learners are taught. Now it's time to break one of the oldest habits in language learning. Memorizing single words and rules instead of interacting with real language. In this session, we'll help you stop approaching English like a list of facts and start approaching it like a living experience. You'll discover how language is built through interaction, not memorization, and why this mindset shift can dramatically speed up your fluency. Let's begin. Memorizing words feels productive, but isn't enough. When you're learning a language, memorizing vocabulary feels like progress. You study a word, you write it down, you review it, you feel like you're building your language bank. But then comes the test, a real conversation. You know the words, but suddenly your brain goes blank. The right word doesn't come, or it does, but too slowly. Or you hesitate, second-guess yourself, and miss the moment. Why? Because you've studied the word, but not used it. You've memorized vocabulary in isolation, not in context. And language doesn't live in isolation. Words don't work alone. Here's a truth that changes everything. Native speakers don't speak in words, they speak in phrases, in patterns, in combinations. Let's look at an example. Textbook learners might memorize the word opinion. They learn the meaning, maybe a few translations. But a fluent speaker doesn't say, my opinion, good, strong, topic, this. They say things like, in my opinion, I honestly think that what I believe is, if you ask me, these are called chunks or collocations, natural word combinations that are used together often. You don't just say make and decision. You say make a decision. You don't say big and mistake. You say a huge mistake. You don't say study and hard. You say study hard or put in the work. And the more of these natural combinations you know, the more fluent, real, and fast you sound. The problem with isolated memorization. Here's another challenge. When you study English through isolated vocabulary lists or flashcards, your brain treats the language like data. But speaking English isn't like solving a math equation. It's more like playing music. You don't pause every note. You learn the flow. Language is rhythm. It's context. It's interaction. When you only memorize words, your speech becomes slow and mechanical, like assembling a puzzle piece by piece. But when you train with phrases and patterns, your brain starts retrieving whole ideas, not individual words. This is how native speakers can speak quickly without thinking about grammar. They've built up thousands of speech reflexes, common combinations of words that fire automatically. You can do the same. Think in phrases, not words. Let's try something. Instead of learning the word idea, learn the phrase, I've got an idea. That's actually a great idea. Not sure if it's a good idea, but instead of just time, learn. Do you have a second? I didn't have time to... It's time to move on. Let's not waste time. Notice how much more useful this is. Instead of just one word, you're learning how real people use that word in a sentence. You're building ready-to-use expressions you can plug into conversations. And more importantly, you're reducing hesitation. Because when your brain has a full phrase ready, you don't have to build a sentence from scratch. You just speak. Learn language in context. So how do you start training like this? Here's a simple rule. Don't study words. Study situations. Instead of learning 20 new words in a list, learn 3 to 5 phrases for a specific situation. For example, let's say you're learning English for job interviews. Don't just learn experience, skills, and position. Instead, learn, I have 3 years of experience in... I'm very comfortable working with... This role really aligns with my goals. One of my strengths is what I'd bring to the team is... Now you're preparing for a real conversation. You're building your voice for the actual context. You're learning language you can use, not just understand. Use it or lose it. One of the biggest traps learners fall into is passive knowledge. They know the word, but they've never used it. And so in real-time conversation, the brain freezes. There's only one cure for this. Speak, often out loud, even if you're alone. Language is a skill. Yours is not just a memory. It must be performed, not stored. If you want to sound natural, you need to practice speaking the way real people speak. That means repeating, shadowing, improvising, and talking to yourself if needed. You might feel awkward at first. That's okay. You're training, you're rewiring your reflexes, and with consistent effort, your speaking will become faster, smoother, and more automatic. The power of response patterns. Let's introduce a powerful tool, response patterns. These are sentence frames you can adapt in real conversations. For example, honestly, I think, to be honest, it depends on if it were up to me. I'm not sure, but I'd say these patterns help you buy time, express opinions, and stay in the flow. They reduce the fear of silence. They give your speech rhythm, and they're easy to remember because they're short, common, and repeated, often in natural speech. Start collecting them. Practice them out loud. Use them in your next English conversation. What you can do. Starting today, here are 5 practical steps to move from memorizing to interacting. Stop memorizing word lists. Instead, learn phrases in real context. Shadow native phrases, play a sentence, pause, repeat with the same rhythm and emotion. Keep a phrase journal. Write down natural expressions you hear and review them daily. Practice speaking in chunks. Don't build sentences word by word. Train your mouth to speak in units. Use audio over text. Train your ear. Read less, listen more. What's coming next? In the next segment, we'll take this one step further. You'll learn how to improve your speaking flow through rhythm, tone, and pacing. Just like a musician practices timing and beat, you'll learn how to pause how to emphasize, and how to sound clear, not stiff. Because the secret to natural English isn't speed, it's flow. Until then, keep practicing phrases, not just words. Interact with English like a real person. And remember, you're not studying a language, you're learning to live in it. The power of pausing, emphasis, and tone. Welcome to segment 4. In the last session, we talked about moving from memorizing single words to interacting with full phrases. You learned why phrases are more powerful than isolated vocabulary and how they help build fluency in a real-world context. Now we take it even further, because even if you have the right words, the right phrases, and decent grammar, something might still feel off in your speaking. Your message is correct, but your delivery sounds flat. You say the right thing, but people don't always follow your meaning. You speak fluently, but still sound robotic, rehearsed, or unsure. What's missing? Pausing, emphasis, tone, the musical elements of English, the parts that bring speech to life. And today, we're going to train that side of your English. This is where you stop sounding like a textbook, and start sounding like a human being. Speaking is music. Think about your favorite songs. They don't just deliver words, they use pauses, beats, emotion. There's rhythm, rise and fall. The melody tells part of the story, well, not just the lyrics. English is like that too. Spoken English is not a machine reading out data. It's music made from breath, timing, and feeling. If you only focus on grammar and pronunciation and ignore rhythm and tone, your speech will always sound flat. But when you control your pauses, adjust your emphasis, and modulate your tone, you create real connection. This is what makes people stop and listen. This is how you build presence in English. Pausing. The unsung hero of natural speech. Let's start with pausing. Most learners are afraid of pauses. They think, if I pause, people will think I don't know English. So they try to fill every second and end up speaking too fast without control. But in real speech, pausing is powerful. It helps you. Breathe, think, emphasize. Meaning, control the conversation. Sound calm and confident. Even native speakers pause often. The difference is that they pause naturally, not awkwardly. Let me give you an example. Say this out loud in one breath. I think what we really need is a new strategy. Now say it with pauses. I think what we really need is a new strategy. Can you feel the difference? The second version feels more confident. It gives space for your listener to absorb your meaning, and it gives you time to stay in control. Pauses aren't a sign of weakness. They're a sign of thoughtfulness. They show that you're present, focused, and in command of your words. Emphasis. What you stress matters. Next, let's talk about emphasis, the art of choosing which word to stress in a sentence. In English, not all words are equal. Some words carry the weight, others support the meaning. Look at this simple sentence. I didn't say he stole the money. Now try putting emphasis on different words. I didn't say he stole the money. Someone else did. I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say it at all. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe I hinted but didn't say it. I didn't say he stole the money. Someone else might have. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe he borrowed it. I didn't say he stole the money. Not that money. Another one. I didn't say he stole the money. He stole something else. One sentence, 7 meanings, all based on emphasis. If you say every word with equal stress, your message becomes unclear. But when you learn to control which word gets the energy, you control your message. Native speakers do this automatically. You can train it consciously. Tone. The emotional layer. Now let's talk about tone. The way your voice rises, falls, softens, or strengthens to express emotion. Tone is what makes your words feel alive. It tells your listener not just what you're saying, but how you feel about it. Let's use a simple phrase again. That's great. Now say it happily. That's great. Say it sarcastically. That's great. Say it flat with no interest. That's great. 3 versions, same words, different tone, different meaning. In real conversation, tone is your emotional body language. It shows warmth, annoyance, excitement, hesitation, sincerity. Textbooks rarely teach this, but it's one of the most important parts of speaking. Naturally, if your words say, "I'm excited," but your tone is flat, your message is lost. But when your tone and message match, people feel your communication. This is what helps you connect. This is what makes your English real, what you can practice. Today, let's turn this into real practice. Here are 5 things you can do today to improve your pause, emphasis, and tone. Shadow real conversations. Find short clips of real English, not scripted. Pause, repeat with the same pauses and tone. Record yourself. Take one sentence. Record yourself saying it 5 different ways. Play it back. Adjust. Slow down. Don't rush. Use silence as a tool. Let your sentences breathe. Stress only the key word in each sentence. Choose one important word to emphasize. Practice it clearly. Perform. Don't just read. If you're saying "I'm excited," then sound excited. Don't just pronounce the words, act them. Spoken English is a performance, not a test. Here's a mindset shift that can change everything. When you speak English, you're not taking an exam. You're not proving what you know. You're performing, communicating, connecting. Think of actors, they memorize lines, sure. But what makes them believable is how they deliver those lines. Their pauses, their expressions, their tone. You don't need to be dramatic, but you do need to speak with feeling. Because people don't just hear your words, they feel your message. And when your message has rhythm, emphasis, and tone, your English becomes real. What's coming next? In the next segment, we'll explore how to bring emotion into your English. Not just through tone, but through choice of words, expressions, and delivery. You'll learn why sounding natural means feeling what you say, and how to develop emotional fluency, not just verbal fluency. Until then, practice your pauses, feel your sentences, use tone as your secret weapon, and remember, you don't need more words, you need more rhythm. That's how you speak like a real person. Real English means real emotions. Welcome back. So far in this series, we've worked on closing the gap between textbook English and the way real people speak. In the last segment, we explored how rhythm, pausing, emphasis, and tone completely transform how you sound. You learn that fluency is not only about what you say about Barrett, but how you say it. Now, in this segment, we go even deeper. Today, we talk about a hidden skill that makes fluent speakers stand out. A skill that textbooks almost never teach. That skill is emotional fluency. Because here's the truth. If you want to sound like a real English speaker, not a textbook robot, you must be able to speak with feeling. Let's break down how to train this part of your voice. Language is not just information, it's emotion. Many learners think of English as something to be memorized. Words, definitions, grammar, structures. But language isn't just a system of rules. It's a tool for expressing how you feel, what you want, and what matters to you. Think about how you use your first language. Do you only talk about facts? Or do you joke? Do you comfort? Do you express love, stress, joy, anger? English should be no different. But when learners focus only on correctness, they often disconnect from emotion. They focus on saying the sentence right, but forget to say it real. That's the difference between "I'm happy to meet you" and "Hey, great to meet you." Same meaning, different emotion, different energy. Real English flows with emotion, and your voice should too. How emotion changes. Meaning, let's take the same sentence again. "I'm fine." Now say it, cold and short. "I'm fine." You're annoyed. Light and happy. "I'm fine." You're okay, maybe even cheerful. Hesitant and quiet. "I'm fine." You might not be okay. Same words, three very different messages. In English, especially spoken English, emotion lives in your tone, timing, and body language, not just your vocabulary. This is why native speakers often sound expressive even when using simple language, and it's why advanced learners can still sound flat if they speak without emotional control. Fluency is not just words, it's connection, and connection comes through shared emotional energy. Expressive phrases versus plain phrases. Let's compare how English sounds when it's flat versus when it's emotional. Textbook speech. "I don't agree with that. That makes me feel sad. I think that is a good idea." Now, real emotional versions. "Honestly, I don't see it that way." "Oh, that really hit me hard." "That sounds awesome." "Seriously." See the difference? When you speak emotionally, you choose words that reflect how you actually feel. You use natural expressions. Your tone shifts, your energy changes, and suddenly people listen. Because now you don't sound like you're reading a sentence. You sound like a human being with something real to say. Emotional vocabulary that sounds natural. Let's go over a few emotional expressions that are commonly used in real English. Happiness. "That's amazing." "I'm so excited for this. Can't wait." "This made my day." Frustration or disappointment. "Ugh, not again." "That's really annoying. I was so upset. Totally threw me off." Surprise. "No way." "Wait, seriously?" "You got to be kidding." "That's insane." Empathy or support. "I hear you." "That must have been tough." "Totally understand how you feel." "I'm here for you." These expressions don't require complicated grammar, but they carry emotional meaning. And that's what makes them powerful. Start collecting emotional phrases. Use them. Practice them out loud. Speak not just with your brain, but with your whole self. Don't be afraid to act. Here's something most learners have never been told. Speaking English is a little like acting. Think of it this way. Actors learn lines, but what makes them believable is how they say those lines, how they put emotion into the performance. You can do the same. When you say something, don't just pronounce the words. Perform the message. Let your voice rise when you're excited. Let it drop when you're tired or serious. Let your face show what you feel. Let your hands move if they want to. This isn't about being dramatic. It's about being real. Native speakers use their whole body when they talk, voice, hands, face, tone, pauses. You're not just learning a language. You're learning to express yourself through that language. Emotional control. Channel natural confidence. Here's something powerful. When you can express emotion in English, you feel more in control of your voice. You don't feel stuck. You don't feel like a student. You feel like a person. This confidence shows up in conversation. People respond better to your energy, they feel your emotion, and you feel less nervous. Because you're no longer focused on perfection, you're focused on connection. In this way, emotional fluency becomes the bridge between language learner and confident speaker. Practice tips for emotional fluency. Here are 5 practical ways to start training your emotional fluency today. Watch scenes from TV shows. Focus on how actors use tone and emotion. Pause, mimic, repeat. Take simple sentences and change the emotion. Say, I'm fine, like you're happy, angry, sad, bored. Practice storytelling. Tell a short story from your day using real emotional expressions. Record yourself. Pick a phrase like, that's amazing, and record it in 3 different emotional styles. Talk to yourself with feeling. In your room, during a walk, practice speaking with real emotion as if you're talking to a friend. The more you train this, the more natural it becomes. And when emotion becomes natural, your English becomes human. What's coming next? In the next segment, we'll talk about some of the most common mistakes that make learners sound like a textbook and how to fix them. You'll learn how to eliminate the stiffness from your speech, sound more relaxed, and break habits that are holding you back. Until then, remember this. Real fluency isn't just knowing English, it's feeling in English. And when you learn to express emotion, you become more than fluent. You become free. Common mistakes that make you sound like a textbook. Welcome back. In segment 5, we focused on emotional fluency, how to speak English with feeling, not just form. You learned how tone, expression, and emotional vocabulary make your English sound more human, more relatable, and more real. But even with all that progress, certain habits can still hold you back. Habits that make your English feel forced. Habits that make you sound like a textbook. So in this segment, we're going to identify those mistakes. And most importantly, show you how to fix them. Because speaking naturally is not just about what you add, it's also about what you remove. Let's get into it. Mistake 1. Speaking too formally in casual situations. One of the most common mistakes learners make is over-formality. You meet someone casually and say, "Hello, how do you do? I hope you're enjoying your day." While technically correct, it doesn't match the situation. It sounds stiff and unnatural. What would a native speaker say? "Hey, how's it going? What's up? How have you been? Good to see you." Fluency is not about using the most formal version of English in every situation. It's about matching your language to the moment. When you're too formal in a relaxed setting, you create emotional distance. You sound rehearsed. Or worse, uncomfortable. The fix? Learn casual equivalents for your phrases. Practice sounding more relaxed, especially in introductions, small talk, and daily communication. Mistake 2. Speaking in full, perfect sentences. Another classic mistake is thinking you need to speak in complete, grammatically perfect sentences all the time. For example, "I cannot attend the meeting because I have another obligation at that time." Accurate? Yes. Natural? Not really. Now compare that to "can't make it? Got something else then. I'll miss this one. Got another thing lined up." These are how real people speak, especially when they're comfortable. We cut unnecessary words, we simplify structure, we respond quickly and naturally. This doesn't mean grammar isn't important. It means that in real-time speaking, efficiency and flow matter more than textbook perfection. So instead of trying to build perfect sentences every time, try responding with clear, short, natural phrasing. Mistake 3. Avoiding contractions. Many learner 9, especially in formal training, are told not to use contractions. So they say, I do not know. He is not coming. I cannot do that. But in real conversation, contractions are everywhere. I don't know. He is not coming. I can't do that. Refusing to use contractions can instantly make you sound unnatural, even robotic. Worse, it creates a rhythm that doesn't match native speech. If you're still avoiding contractions out of habit or fear of mistakes, break that habit. Practice them until they become automatic. It will dramatically improve the flow and realism of your speaking. Mistake 4. Using literal translations. When learners think in their native language and then translate directly into English, the result often sounds strange, even if the grammar is correct. For example, it makes cold today. He entered in the room. I have 25 years. These are word-for-word translations from other languages, but in English, the natural phrasing would be, it's cold today. He came into the room. I'm 25 years old. The fix: stop translating, start listening. The more you expose yourself to real English, the more these correct patterns will feel familiar. Don't just memorize rules. Internalize natural speech through listening, repetition, and real interaction. Mistake 5. Overusing. Rare or academic words. Sometimes learners think that the more complicated their vocabulary, the better they sound. So they say things like, I endeavor to commence the project shortly. The ambience of the establishment was most agreeable. I'm experiencing substantial fatigue. Again, these are correct, but too formal, too complex for most everyday conversation. Real English is often simple, direct, emotional. I'm going to start soon. That place had a great vibe. I'm so tired. Using rare words makes you sound like a textbook size, or even like you're showing off. Fluent speakers use plain words in powerful ways. So the key is to master the simple words first and use them with natural rhythm and feeling. Mistake 6. Not using fillers or hesitations. Textbooks teach you to be efficient, clean, direct, but real people, we hesitate, we pause, we say, and that's normal. These are called fillers, and when used moderately, they make you sound more natural, more like a person thinking in real time, not reciting lines. Too many fillers. It becomes distracting. Too few, you might sound too robotic. So try practicing them. Well, I'm not sure. I've actually never been there. It was kind of weird. Balance is key, but don't avoid them completely because fluent speakers don't. Mistake 7. Always playing it safe. This one is more emotional than technical. A lot of learners only say what they're 100% sure is correct. They limit themselves to simple words and safe phrases. The result? You never grow. You never stretch. You stay stuck. Real fluency requires risk. Trying new phrases, expressing opinions, playing with tone, making mistakes. The only way to sound natural is to practice sounding natural, even if that means messing up along the way. Think of your voice like a musical instrument. You can't become expressive if you never explore new notes. What you can do now, let's recap the fixes for each mistake and turn them into action steps. Match your tone to the situation. Formal isn't always better. Learn casual responses. Let go of perfect sentences. Aim for clear, natural responses, even if they're short. Use contractions. Practice until they become automatic. They improve flow instantly. Stop translating. Immerse yourself in real English. Listen, repeat, and absorb natural phrasing. Simplify your vocabulary. Use common expressive words. Focus on tone and delivery. Use some filler. They help you sound more human. Use them to buy time and think out loud. Take risks in speaking. Try new phrases. Make mistakes. That's how you grow. If you take just one of these and focus on it this week, your speech will feel more relaxed, natural, and confident. But if you practice all of them consistently, you'll start speaking like a real person, not a grammar machine. What's coming next? In the next segment, we'll build on what you've learned by showing you how to think and speak in word clusters, how to group words the way native speakers do to improve flow and rhythm. Because fluency isn't just about words, it's about how words move together. Until then, reflect on your speaking habits. Where do you sound stiff? Where can you relax, simplify, or personalize your English? Small changes. Big transformation. Think in phrases, not individual words. Welcome back. We are now deep into this journey from textbook English to real natural fluency. By now you've learned why grammar isn't enough. You've learned to use tone, rhythm, contractions, and emotion to sound more human. You've learned how to avoid common mistakes that make your speech sound stiff. Now, it's time to unlock one of the most powerful fluency techniques of all. Thinking in phrases, not words. This shift alone can take you from hesitant and slow to smooth, confident, and real. Let's explore how and why. What does thinking in phrases actually mean? Most learners are trained to study individual words. They learn book, read, library, information. They try to translate each word into their native language and then use those pieces to build a sentence. That sounds logical, but it doesn't work well in real-time conversation. Why? Because language isn't built from words, it's built from phrases. Phrases are pre-built word combinations that carry meaning as a unit. Examples. I'm not sure. That sounds good. It's up to you. At the end of the day, I have no idea. These aren't just word combos. They're speech patterns that native speakers use all the time. They're fast, natural, emotionally accurate. When you start thinking in these patterns, your English becomes automatic. You stop translating, you start responding. Why thinking in words? Slows you down. Let's imagine this situation. Someone asks you, "Hey, do you want to grab lunch?" Now, if you think word by word, your brain has to process, do. Okay. Auxiliary verb, you. Pronoun, want. Verb, to grab. Wait, does that mean eat? Lunch? Okay, I know that one. Then you think of your reply. But instead of speaking, your brain is still translating back and forth. You hesitate, you panic, you speak slowly or say nothing. Now compare that to someone who thinks in phrases. They've heard grab lunch before. They've practiced responses like, yeah, sure, I'm starving. Sounds good. I just ate, but I'll join you. Their brain doesn't need to build a sentence. It just retrieves a ready-made pattern. And that's the secret. Fluent speakers don't build every sentence from zero. They retrieve common phrases. This is how native speakers speak so fast and so naturally. You can do the same. Examples of useful everyday phrases. Let's look at real-life phrases that will help you stop thinking word by word, making decisions. Let me think. I'm leaning toward, not quite sure yet. That could work. Agreeing or disagreeing. That's true. I see your point. I'm not so sure about that. Exactly. Expressing emotion. That drives me crazy. I'm so into this. That made my day. I wasn't expecting that. everyday actions. I'm heading out. Let's catch up soon. It slipped my mind. I messed up. Each of these is short, natural, and emotionally meaningful. They're easy to memorize as a unit, and they sound 10 times more natural than individual words stacked together. Why this works for your brain? There's a reason this works, and it's supported by cognitive science. When you think in individual words, you overload your short-term memory. You try to hold too many things at once: grammar rules, word meanings, sentence structure. But when you think in chunks, your brain processes language faster and with less effort. It's the same way you remember phone numbers or song lyrics, not digit by digit, not word by word, but in patterns. Once a phrase is internalized, you don't need to think about it, you just say it. This is how fluency works, and how to stop sounding like you're trying to speak English. How to train this skill. Let's go over 5 practical ways to start thinking in phrases instead of words. 1. Collect real-life phrases. Keep a journal or notes app with expressions you hear in real conversations, TV shows, podcasts, or videos. Don't just write down definitions, write full examples. Example, phrase, I'm not really into it, used in, I'm not really into horror movies. Variation, she is really into yoga these days. Study it, repeat it, speak it. 2. Use phrase banks, not word lists. If you're still learning vocabulary 1 word at a time, stop. Start using phrase banks, collections of useful real-world sentences, instead of help, need. Project. Study. Can I give you a hand? Do you need anything else? I've been working on this project for hours. This makes speaking easier and listening more intuitive. 3. Shadow full phrases. Find videos or audio of native speakers. Play a sentence. Pause. Repeat the entire phrase with the same rhythm and tone. Don't break it into words. Copy the whole sound. This helps your brain and mouth connect the music of English with real-life use. 4. Speak in phrases daily. Talk to yourself out loud. Narrate your day using phrases. Let's get started. Almost there. This is taking forever. I'll grab a snack. By using these casually in low-pressure situations, you build automatic recall. So when you're in a conversation, they're already ready. 5. Practice fill in the blank drills. Take a common phrase and practice using different endings. I'm thinking of going out, calling him, starting yoga. I don't really feel like doing this, agree with that, understand it. It's kind of annoying, confusing, exciting. This keeps the core phrase fixed and builds flexibility around it. The mental shift: stop translating, start responding. Here's what you must remember. The goal is not to speak perfect English. The goal is to respond naturally. With expressions that feel right, thinking in phrases does exactly that. It helps you speak faster, sound more native, understand better, feel more confident. And once you trust these patterns, speaking stops feeling like hard work. It becomes part of your instinct. What's coming next? In the final segment, we'll bring everything together. We'll give you a simple, powerful routine to continue training these skills every day and share a message of hope, confidence, and inspiration to carry forward on your English journey. You've come this far. You've broken the rules of textbook English. Now it's time to step fully into the real version of your voice. Fluent, not perfect. And the journey ahead. Welcome to the final segment. You've made it through 7 powerful sessions. You've unlearned what's holding you back and started building the tools for real, natural English, the kind people actually speak and respond to. Now, in this final part, we're going to bring it all together. You'll learn why perfection is not the goal. Why sounding like a real person is better than sounding like a grammar book. And most importantly, how to keep growing, even when it's hard. This is not just about speaking English, it's about trusting yourself. It's about using your voice and believing that it matters. Let's begin. The myth of perfection. Most English learners carry a fear that if they don't speak perfectly, they shouldn't speak at all. They worry about grammar, about accents, about pronunciation. They feel like their mistakes make them look less intelligent. But the truth is, no one speaks perfectly, not even native speakers. We all pause. We all forget words. We all correct ourselves mid-sentence. So chasing perfection is not only unrealistic, it's damaging. It holds you back from the one thing that really matters, connection. You're not here to impress people with your grammar. You're here to express yourself clearly and confidently. Real communication is not about perfect words, it's about meaning, emotion, and presence. Fluency is connection, not complexity. Many learners believe fluency means using big words or sounding advanced, but the most fluent people are not the ones who know the fanciest vocabulary. They're the ones who can connect naturally in real time. They listen, they react, they speak simply but effectively, they laugh, they hesitate, they explain things clearly. That's fluency. If you can respond smoothly, express how you feel, and understand others with ease, you are fluent even if you make grammar mistakes, even if your accent is strong, even if your vocabulary is limited. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present and expressive. Real-world English is messy, and that's okay. Real conversations are full of incomplete sentences, repeated words, and emotional messiness. People interrupt, they talk over each other, they change topics halfway through a thought. This is normal. If you expect conversations to match the clean examples from your textbook, you'll feel lost. But once you accept the imperfect nature of real English, it becomes easier. Instead of thinking, that's not correct, you start thinking, that's how people really talk. And the more you expose yourself to real language, in podcasts, interviews, videos, casual chats, the more this messy, natural English becomes your normal. And when it becomes normal, it becomes yours. Your daily routine for lifelong growth fluency doesn't come from one big effort. It comes from small, consistent practice every day. Here's a routine you can follow, even if you only have 30 minutes. 1. Listen actively. Choose real English content, podcasts, interviews, vlogs. Listen for rhythm, tone, and emotion, not just meaning. 2. Shadow short phrases. Pick 5 to 10 natural phrases and repeat them out loud. Mimic tone, emotion, and speed. 3. Speak out loud. Every day, talk to yourself. Narrate your day, tell stories. Respond to imaginary questions. Make your voice a daily habit. 4. Collect real phrases. Keep a journal of natural expressions, not single words, phrases. Use them in your daily speech. 5. Reflect weekly. Ask yourself, am I speaking more naturally? Do I hesitate less? Am I enjoying the process? That reflection builds self-awareness, and self-awareness builds confidence. Believe in your voice. Right now, there may still be moments where you feel unsure, moments where your English feels not good enough, moments where you compare yourself to others and feel behind. That's okay. Every speaker, even native speakers, has doubts. But your voice deserves to be heard. Your thoughts deserve to be shared. Your story matters, asikizasa, in any language. Don't wait for your English to be perfect before you use it. Use it and it will improve. Use it with feeling and it will become powerful. The more you speak, the more you believe in your ability to speak. And that belief, that's what transforms learners into speakers. This is not the end. It's the launch. If you made it through this series, here's what you've done. You've stopped chasing perfect grammar. You've learned to speak with rhythm and emotion. You've embraced mistakes. You've learned to think in phrases, not words. You've trained your ear and your voice. You've become more real, more expressive, more you. In English, that is not small. That is not easy. That is the foundation of real fluency. But it's just the beginning. Your growth doesn't stop here. From today, every conversation, every mistake, every sentence is a step forward. So take pride in where you are, but stay excited for where you're going. Your English voice is already alive. Now let it grow. A message for you. You are not just learning a language. You're building confidence. You're expanding your world. You're learning how to speak, how to listen, how to connect. On a global level, you have what it takes. You've already proven that by finishing this journey, so keep going, stay consistent, stay brave, and always remember, you don't have to sound perfect. You just have to sound like you. Thank you, and final words. If this series has helped you feel more confident, if it has helped you sound more real, if it has inspired you to keep growing, then we invite you to stay connected. Like this video to support the message. Comment below and share your experience. And don't forget to subscribe for more English learning and motivation sessions. This is not a course, this is a journey, and we're walking it with you. Thank you for trusting your voice. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next session. Until then, keep speaking, keep learning, and most importantly, keep being real. Speak English daily, even when you're busy. Welcome to segment 1 of the series, Daily English Speaking Practice for Busy People. Whether you're working full-time, studying, taking care of family, or juggling multiple responsibilities, you probably feel like you don't have time to practice English. You might be thinking, I want to improve my speaking, but my schedule is packed. I don't have time for long classes or complicated grammar drills. I forget everything I study because I'm not consistent. If any of these sound familiar, this training is for you. In this series, you'll learn a system that helps you practice English speaking daily, even if you only have 10-20 minutes a day. We'll focus on natural language, emotional expression, fluency, not memorization or textbook grammar. And in segment 1, we start with the foundation. Building a simple, sustainable daily habit that fits into your busy life. Why speaking daily matters, even if it's just 10 minutes. Many people believe they need hours of study to become fluent. That's simply not true. Consistency beats intensity. Practicing English for 10 focused minutes a day is more powerful than studying for 2 hours once a week. Why? Because language fluency is like a muscle. It needs daily movement. Just like going to the gym, short regular sessions build strength over time. If you only speak English once a week, your brain resets between sessions. But if you speak every day, even a little, you build recall, rhythm, and natural speech. So don't wait for a perfect time. Make use of the small moments in your day. What this series is and what it's not, let's make this clear. This is not a grammar-heavy course. This is not an exam preparation course. This is not focused on memorizing lists of vocabulary. This is real, practical voice training to help you speak more confidently, sound more natural, think and respond faster, reduce hesitation, make English a natural part of your routine. We focus on how to use English, not just how to study it. Whether you want to speak better at work, in interviews with friends, or while traveling. This system will help you become the speaker you want to be. What busy learners struggle with. Let's look at some common challenges busy learners face and how we'll overcome them. 1. No time for long lessons. You'll learn how to use short speaking bursts, 5 to 10 minutes of focused, guided practice. 2. No one to speak with. You'll discover how to train your voice alone without needing a speaking partner and still get real results. 3. Fear of sounding wrong. We'll use safe, structured self-practice to help you build confidence in private before you take it public. 4. Forgetting what you learn. You'll repeat useful phrases, not isolated words. This builds long-term memory and real-life fluency. If you relate to these, you're not alone. And you're not stuck. Your goal is not perfection. It's progress. Many learners believe they must speak perfectly to speak at all. But that mindset creates fear, not fluency. The truth? Fluency means speaking comfortably and clearly, not perfectly. It's okay to make small grammar mistakes. It's okay to forget a word and work around it. What matters is that you communicate, express, and connect. So in this course, your goal is not to become perfect. Your goal is to become real, expressive, and consistent. The core daily practice structure. Let's look at the 3-part system we'll use throughout the series. Step 1. Listen and shadow. 3-5 minutes. Each day listen to a natural English sentence or phrase. Repeat it out loud. Focus on tone, emotion, rhythm, pronunciation. This is called shadowing, and it trains your brain and mouth to work together. You don't need to understand every word. Just copy the sound and feeling. It builds fluency at the instinct level. Step 2. Speak freely. 5 minutes. Talk out loud about your day. Describe what you're doing. Tell a short story. Give your opinion on a topic. This trains confidence. Thinking in English flow under pressure. If you get stuck, don't stop. Pause. Try a different word. Keep going. Step 3. Phrase repetition. 2-3 minutes. Pick 3-5 useful phrases from that day. Repeat them out loud until they feel natural. Examples. I've been meaning to. I'm not sure yet. It depends on. I'm trying to figure it out. These phrases build your real-life speaking muscle. Why speaking alone works? Yes, it really does. You might be thinking, but if I'm practicing alone, who corrects me? Isn't it better to speak with real people? Yes, conversations are important, but they're not the only way to practice speaking. Speaking alone helps you. Practice without fear. Repeat as much as needed. Focus on your weak points. Build rhythm and memory. Become more self-aware of your habits. It's private, focused, and flexible. Perfect for busy learners. And when you do have real conversations, you'll be more ready. Let's practice together. Your first 10-minute routine. Let's do your first daily session together. Step 1. Shadowing practice. 3 minutes. Listen to this sentence, then repeat it. I've had a really busy day, but I'm glad I made time for this. Repeat it 5 times. Match the tone. Feel the emotion. Try saying it faster, then slower. Make it feel like your own voice. Now this. Honestly, I didn't feel like doing anything, but I showed up anyway. Repeat. Add your own energy. Say it casually, then seriously. Make it yours. Step 2. Speak freely. 5 minutes. Now talk about your day. Out loud. What did you do today? What's something that annoyed you? What are you planning for tomorrow? If you're not sure what to say, just describe your surroundings. Keep your voice moving. Don't stop. Step 3. Repeat key phrases. 2 minutes. Practice these 3. I showed up anyway. I'm glad I made time for this. I didn't feel like it, but I did it. Repeat each 10 times, out loud. Let them become automatic. You've just completed your first practice in under 10 minutes. What you'll learn in the next segments. In the next 7 sessions, we'll go deeper into the strategies that work for busy learners. Segment 2, how to make English part of your day without studying. Segment 3, build a small daily routine. You can actually stick to segment 4, improve speaking without a partner. Segment 5, express yourself without searching for words. Segment 6, train your brain to think in English. Segment 7, use real-world topics to train fluency. Segment 8, how to stay motivated when you're tired or busy. Each one is practical, voice-friendly, and built to fit into your schedule, no matter how busy you are. Final words for today. You don't need perfect grammar, you don't need fancy vocabulary, and you don't need hours of free time. You just need 10 focused minutes, a few phrases a day, and the belief that your voice matters. Start today. Not next week, not after your next break. Start now, even with 5 minutes. Because fluency is not built in a classroom. It's built in your living room, your kitchen, your car, anywhere your voice can move. And the more you use it, the more it becomes your own. How to make English part of your day without studying. Welcome to segment 2. In the last session, we began with something simple but powerful. Learning how to build a 10-minute daily speaking habit that works even if you're extremely busy. Now we go one step further. Today's focus is this. How do you make English part of your real daily life without setting aside time for formal study? In this segment, you'll learn how to practice speaking during your normal routines. Use dead time to activate your English shift, your mindset from study English to live in English. Because the truth is, if you want to be fluent, you don't need more study. You need more exposure, more speaking, and more connection to real English throughout your day. And you can do that without changing your schedule. Language is a lifestyle, not a subject. Let's begin with a mindset shift. Most learners think of English as a school subject, something you open a book for, something you study in 1-hour sessions with notes and tests. But fluent speakers, especially second language speakers, don't treat English like that. They treat it like a tool they carry with them. It's part of their daily life. It flows through their conversations, their thoughts, their decisions. If you're serious about fluency, you need to stop thinking of English as something separate. It should become a thread running through your day, just like music, just like your phone, just like your thoughts. You don't study English, you live in English. Speak during the moments you already have. You may feel like you have no time to practice English, but if we look closely, you actually have several pockets of time throughout your day. Let's break them down, then show how to turn them into speaking opportunities. 1. While getting ready. Brushing your teeth, making coffee, getting dressed, these are perfect chances to talk to yourself out loud. Okay, what do I need today? I didn't sleep well, but I've got a full schedule. Let's make this quick. I've got to leave in 20 minutes. You're narrating your routine in real time. That's fluency training without extra time. 2. While commuting in the car, on the bus, walking to work, this is excellent. Talk to yourself time. Practice common phrases. Repeat what you hear from a podcast. Talk about what you're going to do today. Examples. I have 3 meetings and one of them will be tough. I should have packed my umbrella. It looks like rain. Let me try saying that again, but faster. It's private, it's casual, and it works. 3. While doing chores, washing dishes, folding laundry, cleaning your room, instead of letting your mind drift, try this. Describe what you're doing. Give short monologues about your day. Try reacting to imaginary questions. Example. Someone asked me how I stay organized, and honestly, I don't. I usually write down my tasks, but I forget half of them. Suddenly, you're training your speaking skills while doing housework. That's smart time management. And real fluency practice. English as your mental background language. Here's a powerful shift. Try thinking in English during your day. You don't even have to speak out loud. Just start forming thoughts in English. What should I eat for lunch? Did I send that email? This meeting is so long. Even 5 minutes of thinking in English trains your brain to process the language faster. It builds fluency from the inside. So instead of telling yourself, I'll study later, tell yourself, I'll think in English now while I walk, cook, or wait in line. Your brain becomes more flexible. Your responses become quicker. You feel more natural. Because English becomes part of your internal world. Replace passive input with active practice. You probably already listen to music, scroll your phone, or watch short videos every day. So here's the strategy. Don't add more to your schedule, just switch some input to English. Instead of scrolling in your first language, watch a short English video. Then speak your reaction out loud. That was funny. I didn't expect the ending. I didn't understand every word, but I got the point. That's something I could try tomorrow. Turn a 3-minute video into a 5-minute fluency booster. Same time, different mindset, real improvement, set language, triggers around you. Let's make your environment support your fluency. These are small changes that remind you to engage with English. Change your phone assistant to English. Rename your app folders to English categories. Leave sticky notes with useful phrases on your mirror or desk. Set alarms titled Speak for 2 minutes. Add short scripts to your fridge, laptop, or bathroom mirror. Each small reminder creates a cue, a mental trigger to switch into English mode. You don't need big effort, you just need repeated contact points. Build your speaking muscle memory. The more you speak out loud and even briefly, the more confident you become. Try this challenge. Speak for 60 seconds at least 3 times today. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be interesting. Just open your mouth and move your voice in English. Topics. What's the best thing that happened today? What do you need to do tomorrow? What's annoying you this week? Repeat it 3 times throughout the day. Morning, afternoon, night. This is how fluency is built. Not in a classroom, but in real time, during your real life. How to stay consistent, even when you're tired. Let's be honest, some days you'll feel too busy or tired to speak English. That's normal. But you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent enough. Here's how. 1. Set a minimum bar. Promise yourself, I'll speak at least 1 minute, even on tough days. That keeps the habit alive. 2. Track your streak. Use a calendar or habit app. Mark every day you speak out loud. Seeing progress builds motivation. 3. Don't aim for big. Aim for today. Forget about next week or next month. Just speak today. If you keep doing that, you'll be shocked by how far you go. Practice together today's 10-minute speaking task. Let's build another simple, powerful session together. Step 1. Shadowing. 3 minutes. Repeat these phrases aloud. I don't have a lot of time, but I make it work. I just squeeze it into the day, even if it's 5 minutes. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up. Practice tone. Say it casually, then with energy. Make it sound natural. Step 2. Speak freely. 5 minutes. Talk about your busiest day this week. What did you do? What felt stressful? What are you proud of? Try not to pause. If you get stuck, switch topics. Just keep your voice moving. Step 3. Repeat key phrases 2 minutes. Say these 10 times each. I make it work. Even 5 minutes counts. Speaking daily is the goal, not studying. Done. That's your 10-minute voice workout. What's next? In segment 3, we'll help you create a speaking routine that fits your actual life. Not a big plan you'll forget next week, but a small, smart system that works with your schedule and keeps you improving day by day. Until then, remember this. You don't need more time. You need better use of the time you already have. And every word you speak, even alone, even short, builds your future voice. Build a speaking routine. You can actually stick to welcome to segment 3. In the last session, we explored how to make English part of your daily life. Not by studying harder, but by using small moments in your day to practice. You learned that real fluency doesn't require more hours, it requires better use of the hours you already have. Now we take that further. Today's focus is how to build a daily English speaking routine that you can actually follow in now Abby's without burning out. You'll learn how to set realistic goals, design a simple, flexible routine, use habit science to stay consistent, avoid common mistakes that cause learners to quit because a routine that looks good on paper is useless if it doesn't survive your real life. Let's build something that works. The problem with most study plans. Let's begin with a hard truth. Most people fail not because they're lazy, but because they set routines that are too difficult to follow. You might feel motivated one day and create a long plan. Every morning I'll study grammar for 30 minutes, practice speaking for 20 minutes, and review vocabulary for 15 minutes. That sounds productive, but when life gets busy, and it always does, that plan falls apart. And once you miss a day or two, you feel guilty. You think, I failed. Then you stop. The problem wasn't you. The problem was the plan. So let's fix that. By creating a speaking routine built on flexibility, simplicity, and sustainability. What makes a routine? Successful routines have 4 traits. Simple. You don't need to think about it. Short. You can finish it in 10-15 minutes. Enjoyable. You don't hate doing it. Visible. You can track your progress. We'll build your speaking routine using these 4 principles, because if it's not simple, short, enjoyable, and visible, you won't do it for long. Step 1. Choose a time slot that matches your life. First, choose one consistent time block in your day. Not the best time, the most reliable time, even if it's only 10 minutes. Examples: in the morning before work, during your lunch break right after dinner, while walking alone in bed before sleeping. The key is consistency, not perfection. If your time changes every day, it becomes easier to skip. Set a daily reminder. Make it a ritual, like brushing your teeth. And if you miss a day, don't quit. Just restart tomorrow. Step 2. Create a routine. Template. You don't need a new plan every day. Create a repeatable pattern you can follow on autopilot. Here's a 10-minute speaking routine you can use daily. Minute 1 to 3. Shadowing practice. Pick 2 to 3 phrases from a podcast or script. Repeat them out loud. Focus on rhythm, tone, and natural expression. Example phrases. Let me think about it. I'm not sure, to be honest. It's been a long day, hasn't it? Repeat each one 5 times. Match the native rhythm. Minute 4 to 7. Freestyle speaking. Talk about your day. Describe your plans. React to an imaginary situation. You might say, today was chaotic, meetings, messages, and barely any time to breathe. If someone asked me about my biggest challenge right now, I'd say, one thing I wish I had more time for is no script, no filter. Just speak. Minute 8 to 10. Phrase review. Take 2 to 3 useful phrases and repeat them. Make them feel automatic. Example. I've been meaning to. I can't complain. That's totally fair. Repeat them 10 times. Try different tones. Use them in a new sentence. This 10-minute template can be repeated every day with different content. It's light, fast, effective, and easy to stick to. Step 3. Track your progress. Here's what most learners miss. Progress tracking isn't just for discipline, it's for motivation. Each day, mark your calendar or habit app when you complete your routine. Even a simple check mark gives you a sense of completion, a record of consistency, a small reward for your brain. You can also keep a voice journal. Record 1 minute of speech each day and compare weekly. You'll hear the improvement, yet in confidence, tone, and flow. Progress is invisible if you don't track it. Step 4. Prepare a content bank. To make your routine easy, prepare materials in advance. You don't need new content every day. You just need a bank of phrases and topics to pull from. Here's how to build it. Collect phrases from podcasts or TV shows. Write down natural sentences you hear from native speakers. Note 10 daily conversation topics: work, health, friends, problems, news, etc. Add personal prompts. What happened today? What stressed me? What made me laugh? This way, when it's time to practice, you're not searching. You're ready. Step 5. Make your routine flexible. Some days will be harder, you'll feel tired, rushed, unmotivated, so create 2 versions of your routine. A. Full routine, 10 minutes. 3 minutes shadowing, 4 minutes freestyle. 3 minutes repetition. B. Minimum routine, 3 minutes. Repeat one phrase 10 times. Talk out loud about one small topic. Say, I showed up today. That's what matters. Even on hard days, do something. This keeps the habit alive. And when the habit lives, the skill grows. Common mistakes to avoid. Let's quickly go over 5 mistakes that stop learners from sticking to a routine and how to avoid them. Mistake 1. Over-planning. If your routine is too detailed, you'll burn out. Keep it simple. Mistake 2. Waiting for motivation. Motivation comes after action, not before. Start, then feel good. Mistake. 3. Speaking only in your head. Think in English, yes, but speak out loud daily. Your voice needs training. Mistake 4. Measuring grammar, not growth. Don't focus on perfect accuracy. Focus on comfort, flow, and confidence. Mistake 5. Comparing yourself to others. Your journey is yours. Track your own progress, not someone else's speed. Practice together. Your routine for today. Let's do a full 10-minute session together. Step 1. Shadow. These phrases repeat each 5 times. I just got through a crazy day. I'm not even sure how I managed. Still, I'm glad I didn't skip this. Focus on sound and emotion. Step 2. Freestyle speaking. Talk about your biggest challenge today. What happened? How did it feel? How did you respond? Speak freely for 3 to 4 minutes. No stopping, no judgment. Step 3. Phrase repetition. Say these 10 times. I made it work. Not perfect, but done. Progress is progress. Done. That's your full voice workout. Final words for today. Fluency is not a goal you hit. It's a direction you move in. One day at a time. And if your daily routine is realistic, if it feels doable, flexible, and empowering, you'll keep going. Don't try to do everything. Just do something every day. Speak out loud. Use real phrases. Track progress. Repeat. Your voice will get stronger. Your confidence will grow. And slowly, but surely, English will become a part of you. In segment 4, we'll tackle one of the biggest questions. How do you improve speaking if you don't have anyone to talk to? You'll learn solo speaking techniques that work, even without a conversation partner. Until then, keep showing up. Keep it simple. And trust that your daily effort is building something real. How to practice speaking English without a partner. Welcome to segment 4. One of the most common struggles English learners face, especially busy learners, is this: I don't have anyone to practice speaking with. You may not live in an English-speaking country. You may not have English-speaking friends. You might be shy or just unsure where to begin. So today we're going to solve that problem. In this segment, you'll learn how to practice speaking English alone, simulate real conversations without a partner, build fluency by training your voice, your ear, and your thinking. Use solo techniques that actually feel engaging and effective. Because here's the truth. You don't need a teacher. You don't need a native speaker. You don't need a language exchange. You just need your voice, your mind, and a daily system. Let's dive in. Why solo speaking works. Before we get practical, let's answer a basic question. Is speaking alone actually useful? Yes. In fact, some of the most confident English speakers learned by practicing alone for months, even years. Before ever talking to a native speaker, here's why solo practice is powerful. No pressure. You're free to make mistakes. Total control. You choose what to say and how long to speak. Unlimited repetition. You can say things again and again until they feel right. Daily consistency. No need to wait for someone else's schedule. Think of it like learning an instrument. You don't perform in front of an audience on day 1. You practice alone every day until your skills are strong. English is the same. Use your voice every day, even in an empty room, and it will become fluent. What to focus on? When practicing alone, you might be thinking, if I'm speaking by myself, how do I know if I'm improving? Great question. When practicing solo, focus on flow. Can you speak without pausing too much? Comfort. Do you feel more relaxed speaking English than last week? Clarity. Are your sentences clearer? Tone. Do you sound more expressive and natural? Vocabulary use. Are you using real useful phrases? You don't need a partner to measure these things. You just need awareness and a system that gives you feedback. Let's look at that system now. Solo speaking. Method number 1, voice journaling. This is one of the most powerful habits you can build, and it only takes 5 to 10 minutes a day. Here's how it works. Pick a topic, your day, your feelings, your goals, a story. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Speak continuously in English out loud, record your voice, optional, listen back and reflect. This builds fluency, thought-to-speech connection, self-awareness, listening comprehension. Start simple. Don't try to sound advanced. Just speak as if you're telling a friend about your life. Example prompts. What was the most stressful thing that happened today? What's one thing you're looking forward to this week? What would you change about your daily routine? You'll be surprised how much progress happens just by showing up daily. Solo speaking. Method number 2, shadowing and repeating. We've mentioned shadowing before. Now let's go deeper. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating their words immediately after as closely as possible. How to do it? Choose a short video clip, podcast, or scripted audio, play one. Sentence. Pause and repeat it out loud, match the tone, speed, rhythm. Replay until it sounds natural. Move to the next sentence. Why this works? You train your mouth and ears, you absorb rhythm and pronunciation naturally. You develop instinctive fluency, not memorized phrases. Start with short natural clips. No long lectures, real conversations, emotional tone. That's what builds real speech ability. Pro tip, record your voice doing shadowing. Listen, compare, repeat. Solo speaking. Method number 3, role play and response. This one is fun and powerful. Here's how it works. Imagine a situation like an interview, small talk, or making a complaint. Ask yourself a question out loud. Pause. Respond to yourself in English, switch roles, and continue the conversation. Example. Q. Hi, how was your weekend? A. Pretty relaxing actually. I stayed home, watched a movie, and caught up on sleep. Q. Nice. What did you watch? A. I watched a documentary about space. It was fascinating. It might feel strange at first, but it's excellent practice. You're simulating real dialogue and training your mind to react in English. Do this while walking, driving, or cleaning. Turn daily moments into conversation simulations. Solo speaking. Method number 4, describe your surroundings. You don't always need a topic. Sometimes just look around and speak. Wherever you are, start describing what you see, feel, and think in English. Examples. The room is quiet right now. There's a soft breeze coming through the window. I can hear the sound of traffic outside. It's a bit distracting. I'm sitting on the couch trying to stay focused. This builds comfort with everyday language. The kind you'll actually use in conversation. Try to do this once or twice a day. No pressure, just observation and expression. Overcoming the fear of speaking alone. You might feel silly talking to yourself at first. That's okay. It's a new habit. And like all habits, it takes time to feel natural. Remember, no one is watching. This is your private gym for building speaking muscles. You're creating fluency from the inside out. If it helps, close the door, turn on some background noise, make the space feel safe, and remind yourself, every confident speaker you've seen has practiced alone many times. This is part of the process. Practice. Together, your speaking session for today. Let's build a solo practice you can use right now. Step 1. Shadowing. 3 minutes. Repeat each phrase 5 times. Match the tone. I don't always feel motivated, but I show up anyway. Speaking alone still counts. Progress is built in private. Try saying them fast, then slow, emotionally, then casually. Step 2. Role play 4 minutes. Pretend you're speaking to a friend. Use this scenario. You're telling someone about your current daily routine. Start the conversation. Lately, my mornings have been kind of rushed. I'm trying to stay organized, but it's tough. One thing that's helping me is writing things down. Keep going. Add questions and answers. Speak without overthinking. Step 3. Describe your space. 3 minutes. Look around and talk. Where are you? What are you doing? What sounds do you hear? How do you feel in this moment? Done. That's a 10-minute solo speaking session, and it's incredibly effective. Final words for today. Speaking alone might seem strange, but it's not a sign of being isolated. It's a sign of being committed. You are building fluency, not just for others to hear, but for yourself to believe. So use your voice, speak aloud, make English part of your day, raw, with no one watching, because every sentence you speak in private, every minute you invest, every phrase you repeat, it's all shaping the confident speaker you're becoming. In segment 5, we'll explore how to express yourself freely, even when you don't know all the words. Until then, speak freely, speak daily, speak proudly. Your voice is your practice. Express yourself in English, even when you don't know the words. Welcome to segment 5 of Daily English Speaking Practice for Busy People. By now, you've learned that fluency isn't about long study sessions or perfect grammar. It's about speaking regularly, using what you already know, and turning small daily efforts into big results over time. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest blocks in speaking. What do I do when I don't know the right word? This fear stops people from speaking at all. They pause, freeze, or stay silent. But today, we'll break that fear. In this session, you'll learn how to express your thoughts clearly, even without advanced vocabulary, work around words you don't know. Build speaking confidence using simple language. Avoid freezing during conversations. Because fluent speakers don't know every word. They know how to keep speaking. Let's show you how. Fluency, knowing every word. Let's start by removing the myth. Most learners believe fluent speakers know all the words. They imagine native speakers as walking dictionaries. But that's not true. Even native speakers forget or skip words all the time. What do they do when they can't remember a word? They rephrase, describe, use gesture, use similar, simpler words. They keep the conversation moving. That's what fluency really is. Not perfection, but flow, not advanced vocabulary, but the ability to adapt. And that's exactly what you'll practice today. The power of paraphrasing. One of the most powerful tools in your speaking toolbox is paraphrasing. It means saying the same thing in different words. For example, you forget the word frustrated. You could say, I feel annoyed and stressed at the same time. It's that feeling when nothing is working. You want to fix something, but you can't. See, you didn't stop. You found another way. This is how fluent speakers work around vocabulary gaps and keep conversations alive. Think in ideas, not words. Here's a shift that will help you immediately. Stop trying to remember the correct word. Start focusing on expressing the idea. Your goal is to communicate, not to sound perfect. When you focus on the message, not the vocabulary, your brain stays relaxed. You may not say it like a textbook, but you'll say something real, and the listener will understand. Real life example. Simple words, strong message. Let's say you want to say, the event was overwhelming, but rewarding. You forget both overwhelming and rewarding. Instead say, there were too many people and it was loud, but I felt really good at the end. It was a lot to handle, but I'm glad I went. Still clear, still true, still fluent. The key is movement. not perfection. Use filler bridges when you get stuck. Another great strategy is using what we'll call filler bridges. Short phrases that give you time to think. They keep your voice moving while your brain catches up. Examples. How do I say this? It's kind of like, let me put it another way. What I mean is, it's the thing you use when these phrases buy you time and make your speech sound more natural. Even native speakers use them constantly. Practice using them until they come automatically. Build vocabulary. From context, not memorization. Here's something powerful. You don't need to memorize every word. You need to feel how it's used. Let's say you hear the word reliable. Don't just look it up once. Try to say it in different ways. He always shows up. He's reliable. I can count on her. She's reliable. This old car is surprisingly reliable. Now say the same idea without that word. He never cancels. I trust him. She always helps when I need it. The car still works great after all these years. Both versions are correct. Over time, you'll build vocabulary through use, not memorization. Turn mistakes into movement. Mistakes are part of speaking, but silence is the real problem, not saying the wrong thing. So when you forget a word, pause for half a second, replace it with a simpler word or idea, keep going. Example, you want to say, I'm not familiar with that concept, but you forget familiar and concept. You say, I don't really know about that. I haven't heard of it before. Perfect. You made it work. That's fluency in action. Practice techniques. Speaking with limited words. Here's a great exercise. Set a vocabulary limit. Challenge yourself to explain something using only simple common words. Try to describe your job. Talk about a book or movie. Explain a simple process. Use only words you teach a beginner. This trains your creativity, flexibility, and paraphrasing ability. And you'll build confidence, knowing you can always find a way to speak, no matter what. Practice. Together, express without the right word. Let's do today's guided routine. Step 1. Repeat useful filler bridges. Say each 5 times. Let me think about that. It's like what I'm trying to say is, how do I explain this? It's kind of similar to, these are your recovery tools when your brain freezes. Step 2. Paraphrasing practice. Try saying this sentence in 3 different ways. I was exhausted after work. Examples. I had no energy left. I was super tired. I just wanted to lie down and sleep. Now you try. The meeting was confusing. She's very supportive. June, I didn't expect that result. For each, give 2 or 3 versions using simpler language. Step 3. Freestyle speaking. Talk for 2 to 3 minutes about a problem you recently solved. What happened? How did you feel? What words did you forget? And then how did you work around them? Don't stop. Don't worry about missing words. Keep the idea alive. Final words for today. You don't need to know every word. You don't need perfect vocabulary. You need flexibility, movement, confidence in yourself. Because fluent speakers are not the ones who speak correctly. They're the ones who keep speaking no matter what. And now, so can you. In segment 6, we'll train your brain to think in English, so you stop translating and start flowing naturally. Until then, use your voice, use your tools, and never let a forgotten word stop you from sharing your idea. Your fluency is not found in a dictionary, it's found in you. Train your brain to think in English. Stop translating, start speaking. Welcome to segment 6. If you've been practicing along with this series, You already know how to build a short daily routine, speak without a partner, and express yourself even when you forget a word. Now we take on one of the most important fluency skills: thinking in English. It's the difference between slow, nervous speaking and fast, natural communication. It's what helps you respond without hesitation, speak smoothly, and stop second-guessing yourself. But let's be clear, thinking in English is not magic. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a skill, and you can train it. And in this session, you'll learn exactly how. Let's begin. Why translating slows you down? Many learners build sentences like this. Think in their native language. Translate the sentence to English, speak out loud. This is normal, especially for beginner or intermediate learners. But here's the problem. Translating takes time. It breaks your fluency. You miss natural rhythm and tone. And sometimes the translation is completely wrong. The result? Your speech sounds slow, robotic, or unnatural, even if the grammar is correct. So what's the solution? Train your brain to skip translation. Think in English. Speak in English. One language, one voice, one rhythm, what it means to think in English. Thinking in English doesn't mean you have complex thoughts with perfect grammar. It means simple ideas appear in English. You recognize objects and actions using English labels. You react to situations with English expressions. You practice forming sentences without switching languages. For example, native thought, Ami khub klant, translated, I'm very tired. Thinking in English, I'm so tired. With practice, the English version becomes the first and only version that appears in your mind. That's thinking in English. Step 1. Label your world in English. The first step to thinking in English is to start labeling everything around you using English words. Wherever you are, look around and name objects in English: table, chair, window, keys, bag, notebook, light. Then describe what's happening. The fan is spinning. A car just passed by. The coffee smells strong. My phone is charging. You don't have to say it out loud every time. Just think it. This builds a habit of processing your environment in English. Do this often, and your brain starts using English automatically in daily life. Step 2. Use internal monologue in English. An internal monologue is the voice inside your head, the thoughts you have throughout the day. Instead of thinking, what should I eat, in your first language, think it in English. What should I eat for dinner? I don't feel like cooking. Maybe I'll just have something simple. You already have thousands of thoughts each day. Start turning just a few of them into English. It's free, it's private, it's powerful. No grammar rules, no teacher, just you and your thoughts in English. Step 3. React to situations in English. This technique trains real-time thinking, the kind you need in conversations. Whenever something happens, react to it in English. You drop your keys, oh no, that was clumsy. You hear good news, that's amazing. I'm so happy for them. You're running late, I've got to hurry. I'm behind schedule. These are natural reactions, not textbook phrases. And the more you practice reacting in English, the faster your speaking becomes in real life. Step 4. Watch and repeat English thoughts. When you watch an English video or series, don't just listen. Respond in your mind. Let's say you're watching a scene where two characters are arguing. Ask yourself, what would I say in that situation? How would I respond if that were me? Do I agree or disagree with what they said? Now answer in English, silently or out loud. This kind of active watching builds your reaction time in English, and it simulates real-life conversation flow. Step 5. Set English thought challenges. Give yourself daily thinking challenges like think only in English while cooking. Speak your inner thoughts for 5 minutes in the morning. Write 1 sentence per hour in English. Use only English to plan your to-do list. These mini challenges create micro habits, and micro habits lead to macro results. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Even 1 minute of thinking in English is valuable. Don't worry about mistakes in your head. One question learners often ask is, what if I think the wrong sentence in English? Answer, it doesn't matter. You're not speaking to a teacher. You're not taking a test. This is internal fluency training. The goal is not perfection. The goal is speed, familiarity, and comfort. Mistakes are part of learning. The more you think in English, the better your thoughts become. Naturally, over time you'll notice faster reactions, better vocabulary recall, more confidence when speaking out loud. It all starts inside your head. Practice together. Train your thoughts in English. Let's do a simple thinking to speaking exercise together. Step 1. Label and describe. Look around your space. Say or think in English. What objects do you see? What is happening around you? What do you notice? Example. There's a notebook on the table. I can hear a dog barking outside. The room feels quiet and warm. This helps you connect English to your physical world. Step 2. Internal monologue. Now think about what you need to do today. Say or think, I need to check my emails. I should clean the kitchen. I have a meeting at 3 p.m. I don't feel like doing anything right now. Say it casually. Say it like it's your real thought. Because it is. Step 3. Real-time reactions. React to this situation. You realize you forgot your keys. Now respond in English. Try, oh no, I can't believe I forgot them. I hope I didn't lock them inside. These are natural expressions. Practice them. Step 4. Thought shadowing. Now listen and repeat these short thoughts, as if they are your own. I'm not in the mood to talk right now. Maybe I need a short break. I'm doing okay, just tired. Let's get through this day one thing at a time. Say them slowly, then quickly, then naturally. Own them like your thoughts. Final words for today. Thinking in English is the foundation of real fluency. When your thoughts become faster, your speech becomes smoother. When your brain stops translating, your words flow freely. But it doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you label your world, speak your inner voice, react in real time, make English part of your mind. This is not about how smart you are, it's about how consistent you are. Start today, one thought, one phrase, one silent sentence, because every time you think in English, and even for 30 seconds, you're building a mind that speaks naturally, clearly, and confidently. In segment 7, we'll explore how to use real-world topics to boost your fluency, so your English sounds more natural, current, and emotionally real. Until then, keep thinking, keep speaking, and trust the voice you're building inside. Speak about real life. Boost fluency with real topics. Welcome to segment 7, the final chapter of your daily English speaking journey in this series. In the last session, we trained your brain to think in English, a powerful step that helps you stop translating and start responding more naturally. Now it's time to complete the transformation by learning to speak about real life with confidence and emotion. Because the truth is, grammar won't make you fluent. Vocabulary lists won't make you sound natural. Speaking about real things with your real voice is what takes you from learner to communicator. So in this final segment, you'll learn how to talk about real situations with clarity and ease, use personal topics to develop fluency faster, add emotion and opinion to your practice. Build real-world speaking habits, not textbook habits. Let's begin. Why real-life topics matter. Fluency is not just about being correct. It's about being relatable. It's about sounding like a human, not a grammar robot. When you speak about your day, your thoughts, your feelings, your routines, you're not just practicing English. You're building a personal connection with the language. You're making English yours. And when English becomes personal, it becomes permanent. What are real topics? Here's what real-life speaking sounds like. I didn't sleep well last night. I'm nervous about tomorrow's meeting. I'm proud of what I finished today. I've been feeling overwhelmed lately. These aren't complicated ideas, but they're true, and that makes them powerful. So today, you'll learn how to build a daily real topic speaking habit, even with limited time. Step 1. Use emotion as your topic. You can talk about almost anything when you start with how you feel. Here's how. Start with, today I feel. Now complete the sentence in your own way. Today I feel tired but focused. Today I feel excited. Something good is happening. Today I feel frustrated. Too much noise, too many people. Then explain why. I slept late. I got good news. I didn't finish my tasks. You've now created a real paragraph in English, personal, honest, natural. Do this every day. You'll become fluent in your own story. And that's the most important story you'll ever tell. Step 2. React to real events. Reacting is the key to fluency. Pick something real. A news story, a message from a friend, a decision you made today. Now respond out loud in English. I can't believe that happened. I would have done it differently. That's actually a smart idea. Then explain. Because from my experience, this adds depth to your English. It's no longer just practice. It's opinion, perspective, and personality. That's what real communication is made of. Step 3. Build a real topic routine. Let's create your daily system. Each day choose one real topic to speak about for 5 to 10 minutes. Examples. What happened today? What are you stressed about? What are you grateful for? What do you need to improve this week? Then speak. No script, no pressure, just flow. Record your voice if you want to track growth. You're not practicing English anymore. You're practicing being yourself in English. That's fluency. Step 4. Use prompts to push depth. To help your ideas go further, use prompt starters. One thing I've realized lately is if I could change something about my routine, something that motivates me is I've been thinking about these prompts lead to real thoughts, not memorized phrases. They stretch your vocabulary, your sentence structure, and your ability to stay in flow. Final fluency tips. As we close this series, here are 5 final reminders to carry with you every day. 1. Your voice matters. You don't need to sound native. You need to sound authentic. 2. Progress is not always visible. Keep going even when you don't feel the results. Fluency grows silently, then suddenly. 3. Consistency beats intensity. 10 minutes a day is better than 1 hour once a week. 4. Mistakes are part of movement. Every time you speak, you're learning. Keep going. 5. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to speak, even if it's not polished. Practice. Together, speak your real voice. Let's end with one last speaking routine. Step 1. Today's emotion. Say, today I feel, because, and I think tomorrow I will feel. Make it honest. Step 2. Real reflection. Use these prompts. This week I learned something I'm proud of. One challenge I'm still working on. Keep going. Let the thoughts flow. Step 3. Look ahead. Say, next week one thing I'll focus on is, I believe I'm improving because. That's it. That's your story, in your voice, in your English. Final words. You've made it through the full speaking series. That means something. You didn't just listen. You practiced. You didn't just study. You spoke. You didn't just learn English. You lived it. So take a breath. Smile. Feel proud of what you've built. And remember this. You don't need perfect grammar to inspire someone. You don't need advanced vocabulary to tell your truth. You just need your voice, used daily, used honestly, used bravely. Keep speaking, not just when you're ready, but especially when you're not. And if this series helped you, like the video, leave a comment and tell us your story. Subscribe to the channel for more English motivation and fluency training. Thank you for trusting us to be part of your journey. You're not just learning a language, you're becoming someone new. We'll see you in the next session. Until then, speak boldly, think clearly, and keep going. Your English voice is just getting started.